Hi, welcome back to This Lovely Stitch. In today's video, I'm going to be going through all of the yarn I'm carrying with me into 2026. This video is going to be split into two parts because this is all the yarn that I have at my home in Maryland, and then I'll do a part two with all the yarn I have at my school, which is in Georgia. So, just going through everything, and some of these yarns may just be some of these yarns may not be huge because I have a lot of scrap yarn that I just bring home. So I have these balls of brown yarn. This is the same thing, just a smaller version. So yeah, I have this brown yarn, which I plan on taking back right now to make a sweater with. I actually plan on using this purple yarn in the next few days to make a scarf because my family's going skiing or tubing. And then I also have this purple yarn. Not really sure what I'll do with this yet. Then, kind of getting into my primary normal colors, I have tons of white yarn, more white yarn, and then this light blue DK yarn. I'm going to be putting aside some yarns that I have as like small scraps because I want to make some scrap blankets this year to donate to charity. So yeah, this is going to be one of the scraps for my scrap blanket. I'm just going to put them to the side, that way I can wind them all up and use them together. Just some smaller balls of that blue yarn. This pretty yarn. This is also going to go in my scrap pile just because it's not really enough to make a project and it doesn't really match some of the other yarn that I have here. Then I have more white yarn. So just going to wrap that up. So that is bag number one. Oh, I don't think I showed this ball. Then I have this yarn. I'm actually giving this to my aunt, so I'm going to also put this to the side. I got this yarn when I went to Italy with my family. Let's see, you can kind of see the tag right there. So I'll put this to the side since that's going to be shipped to my aunt. She lives in Virginia, so not too far away. But yeah, that's bag number one. So you can see it's a lot of mishmash scrap yarns, but that's kind of what my yarn stash at home is, just because it's the stuff that I take home from traveling, kind of just like yarns that I still have from high school. So that's bag number one. Bag number two. These balls of yarn I put together because I do want to make a scrappy sweater, either maybe while I'm home right now for winter break, or I'll make it at some other point. So I have all of this. This is Soft and Sleek DK. My dog is going crazy. 1 second. Okay, brief intermission, but I'm back. I had to go pick up my brother from school, but I'm back to finish filming. So if the lighting looks different, that's why. So anyway, I left off on this, what is it called? Soft and Sleek DK yarn. And this says it's a low pill fiber. So this is pretty much about 3 balls because that's how many, I bought 4 balls originally, used 1 ball for a project, and then had all this yarn left over. So yep, that's this yarn. So let me see, I'll just put it right here for now. Then I kind of just mixed all these by colors just based on what I think would look good in a sweater together. So I had this tan yarn. I don't know if you can tell here, but these are actually 2 different shades of tan. They're just very, very, very similar. I think this is Loops and Thread, and then this is like some kind of, Mainstays, that's what it is. Mainstays is like Walmart's house yarn brand. So this is Mainstays, this is Loops and Threads, but you can barely tell the difference. So I'm putting this in my scrap sweater. Then I have this cream yarn. These also are 2 different, slightly different shades. This is a little bit more peach and this is a little bit more neutral, but that's thread weight. And then this yarn is super pretty. I actually got this yarn in France when my family went on spring break for our Europe trip. And this is 150 grams of yarn. And it's, I don't know, I would say this is like a worsted weight, but maybe it's like a light worsted Aran weight yarn. But yeah, it has these gold flecks in it, so I'm kind of going for a gold neutral vibe. Then I have this whole skein of yarn, and this is fingering weight, and this is all just like that gold thread, so I want to kind of have this in to go throughout. But I'm not exactly sure how many yards this is because it didn't really have any label on it. This is from the same yarn store in France, and it was in their clearance bin, so I just grabbed it. Yep, again, this is Red Heart Classic, that thread. And this is just some thread that I thrifted that I kind of felt fit the vibe of the project that I'm wanting to make with a sweater. So yeah, anyway, this is all that. So I'm going to put this back in this bag because I kind of already have it separated out by color like I want to. And I'm strongly considering, I should say, making this gold cream sweater over break. because I have this scrappy sweater pattern idea that I want to work on, test out, and I think this would be a great project because there's lots of different yarn textures and weights and etc. So then this is just some loose yarn that I have like floating around. So I have this Pound of Love, and this is from Lion brand. So it's this like burgundy and red color. From a glance it looks like it's just maroon, but it's actually like maroon and black woven together. So I have this. I actually have plans for that yarn for some Christmas gifts, so I won't spoil them in the video. I'll do a whole video of all the stuff I crocheted as Christmas gifts here later. What else do I have? Just these 2 random balls of black cotton yarn. I don't really know what I want to crochet with this, but I am actually going to put this in the scrap blanket project section, just because that's another thing where it's like, I don't really know what I'm going to use it for. I don't ever crochet with cotton yarn. I just really don't like the way it feels. So I think that using that as a connecting yarn to like connect different squares together for the scrap blanket would be a good idea. Next, I have this purple boucle yarn. I have a project for this too. I'm going to work this into the scarf. Actually, I'm going to put this right now with the rest of the purple yarn so I don't lose it. I have this ball of yarn. This is the same as the other one I showed you earlier. I just have 2, and this is for my aunt. Next, we'll go through this. This is actually a project that I'm currently working on. I really desperately want to finish over break just because it's so big and I don't want to take space flying back with it. But this is a baby, like a mother baby blanket that I have for my cousin. So it's, you can see it's huge, but this is like a Christmas baby gift, everything all in one. I'm not necessarily finishing it by Christmas though, because I won't see this family member, like her family, for Christmas. I see them for Thanksgiving. So I'll probably just end up finishing it here and then mailing it from my home in Maryland down to her in South Carolina. So, oh, I didn't actually show the yarn that was attached to that project, so let me do that. So I have white yarn attached. I already showed you like a bunch of my white yarn though. It's the same. The only white yarn I buy is Lion brand Pound of Love. So all my white yarn is that. And then this is, I'm trying to remember what it's called. So it's not Karen Simply Soft, it's Hobby Lobby's version of Karen Simply Soft. So anyway, it kind of has that like texture. I don't know if you can really see it, but like a silky kind of pilly texture. So anyway, this is the pink that I have attached to that, and then just a small ball of white. So this is that current project. Next bag. We're almost done actually. So this video feels like it's going to be relatively short considering what I thought I had. So I have this dark brown yarn, and I actually know for a fact I have more of this dark brown yarn at Spelman at college, but I'm going to add this to my scrappy blanket just because I know that it's not going to be really used, especially when I have a ball that's like, I hadn't even taken the wrapper off, that it's just not necessary. This is more of that cream yarn, so I'm actually going to put it with the rest of the cream yarn in this bag here for that scrappy sweater. And then this is my most scrappy bag. This is just a book, but this is my most scrappy bag. And this is actually for a project I'm working on right now to make kind of a scrappy, mosaic-y blanket for my, I was about to say my grandma, it's for my aunt. So I have these granny squares, just a lot of different stuff. My goal actually is to crochet one of every granny square in this 100 Granny Squares book and then putting them all together at some point. So I have a bag of some granny squares that I started in here for that project. But going into each yarn, this is more that cotton, but because it's green, I'm going to keep it in this bag because all the yarns in this bag are green. So this yarn, this is Loops and Threads. If you can't tell already, I don't really keep yarn labels just because they're not that important to me. So yeah, most of my projects are multicolor or scrappy projects, so I never keep yarn colors or worry about dye lots or anything like that. So yeah, anyway, this is also Loops and Threads, which is, for those of you who are not in the States, that's Michael's like house brand of yarn. This is, I'm trying to remember. This is Lion brand Pound of Love. I always like think back to what did I originally buy this yarn for, because I probably didn't end up making the project I planned. Bought a bunch of this yarn to make a blanket. Didn't end up making the blanket, just stopped liking the design, so now it is in my scrap bag for whenever I make something green. So yeah, this is more of that Lion brand Pound of Love. This and this are both, these are both loops and threads, excuse me. This is actually yarn I got from, trying to remember, don't want to get the name wrong, or the place wrong, I should say. This yarn I got from the UK. So yeah, this is 100% superwash wool. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 balls of this, 4-ish, because I start working with this ball. But yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to make with this because I do feel like it's enough to make something. Thinking maybe a hat, but it's a worsted weight yarn. Or it can just go towards one of my many, many scrappy projects. So yeah, this, no idea what this ball is from. This is just like one of the random things I have rolling around. So I'm gonna put this in my, my scrappy blanket project. This is some more DK weight yarn. This is from Hobby Lobby. I love that yarn, or I love this yarn, I should say. Then we have this. This is also loops and thread. Scrappy yarn barf. And this is actually like the last of, actually I guess I bought 5 balls. Excuse me, 5 balls of that superwash merino. So I'm actually gonna put that in here because I already have some matching, so it doesn't really feel right to put it in the scrap basket. And then this is some more of that DK weight yarn. So yeah, I've got that. All that is DK weight yarn, or not DK weight, all that's worsted, that's all my green yarn. And then we're getting to the end, or I should say not the end, but the end of this part 1. I have this sparkly yarn that I got in France when I was on vacation. So yeah, I really love this. I want to make like a little tote bag. This really reminds me of the yarn that they use for like the loose ends, or no, Loose Ends is the name of a company that makes yarn similar to this. So I kind of want to make one of those dusk bags with this yarn because it's so pretty. So yeah, I have that. Then I have black yarn. I have lots of black yarn, and black yarn is another one of those things where I always get it from the same place just for consistency's sake. This is all, oh gosh, why am I so bad with names right now? This is all from Lion Brand Pound of Love. So yeah, black yarn, random blue yarn, not really sure what this is from, but I'm gonna put it in my scrappy blanket project section. More of that purple yarn. And then I have pink, this bright pink yarn, this light pink yarn. So I'm gonna add this to the baby blanket project because that's probably what it'll just be best be used for. So there's that. Or actually, now I'm having second thoughts. Actually, I'm not going to because I know I have another ball back at college it's meant to finish that blanket. So I'm gonna put this light pink yarn in the scrap blanket section. This is enough to make a beanie, so I'm gonna just leave this for now. Then I have this dark blue yarn. And oh, I have, just double checking, I have 2 of these like metallic-y t-shirt type yarn. So maybe I'll make my dust bag out of like these 3 colors because that's really pretty in my opinion. This is a bulky weight yarn. This is from Loops and Threads. I'm not really sure what bulky yarn it is, like which specific one, because I know they have a couple different kinds, especially since getting all that big twist yarn from Joann's. So I can't tell you exactly what this is, but I have about a hat's quantity of that, so definitely worth keeping. This is some yarn I thrifted, so I don't have any tags for it. More Loops and Threads, not Loops and Threads, more Lion Brand. And then, this pink yarn, this is what's finishing the baby blanket. I have this huge ball of Biddy Stripes, which is my favorite yarn. I just love the way it works up. I'm kind of disappointed I don't have a project using it, but it's actually really pretty. And I'm gonna put this in the scrap blanket. And there's a reason, even though this is 2 balls of yarn just wound up. I know because I wound it up for a separate project that I didn't end up making, but anyway. I think that since it's going to be so many colors to kind of bring it together, using some black, like the black cotton yarn that I don't like the feel of, and some rainbow yarn to connect it, will make the blanket more, just more vibrant, make it go together, because I am going to be donating them, but I still want them to be pretty. I donate all my blankets that I crochet like for fun to Project Linus. So yeah, I don't want the blankets, they're going to children in foster care and babies, so I don't want them to be ugly or uncomfortable because, like, why would you want something that's ugly and uncomfortable? But yeah, I have this velvet yarn that I thrifted, so white, and then this, what do you call it? I don't know, like pale blue color. More white. This would actually make a really good sweater if I put all the fluffy yarn together. I have so much more than I thought I did. I have this blue yarn. This is another kind of random scrap, so I'm gonna put it in my scrap blanket collection. More black yarn, and then white yarn. All right, and this is the final bag. Final bag is this all mandala yarn that I was, someone gave it to me because they just know I like to crochet. So I do actually have a project planned, a sweater planned with this yarn. So this is the first cake. Then I have these two cakes that are partially gone into. I actually started, this is all like very messy, but I started a project using the other cake that I had of this one. This is like what it looks like now. So I'm actually unraveling this project that I started. Originally it was gonna be a sweater, so let me see. Like this is the sleeves going out, this is it going down, but I kind of gave up on that project idea and I have something else in mind. So I'm gonna unravel that. I don't throw yarn away. And then, yeah, this is just more of that blue greenish yarn. That, gonna unravel this too. As you can see, I've tried using this mandala yarn a million times, but I'm actually going to finish using it for a project I have in mind. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. That is all the yarn I have, part 1. Of course, I'm going to have to add in all the yarn that I have from college, and that will be the next video in this like 2-part series. But yeah, one of my major goals that I'll go into more in a separate video for 2026 is just to use up all the scrap yarn I have, because I realize I have a lot of yarn in my stash. I have a lot of scrap yarn. And speaking of scrap yarn, actually I'm just like sitting in front and looking at all this yarn. I'm actually gonna use this ball because it's really small, not enough to really make anything other than maybe a small scrunchie into my scrap yarn collection. But yeah, what was I saying? Using up my yarn, that's one of my main goals for 2026. I just wanted to kind of use what I have, kind of draw inspiration, looking from the yarn I already have versus finding patterns and then buying yarn. So yeah, I think I can definitely do it. My goal next year is to have no more than 10 balls, skeins, hanks, whatever, of yarn ending out the year. And I think I can definitely do that if I stay committed, focus really on what I'm bringing back to college with me and what I'm leaving here home in Maryland. But yeah, if you found this video interesting, make sure to subscribe, like, share, follow along, and turn on your notifications. I'm going to post every weekday this year, and then during Vlogmas, of course, it'll be every day. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to use and document like what I'm using every month. So make sure to follow along to see what I end up using every month and what I end up donating, what I end up making. So yeah, comment down below what you were crocheting while watching this video, crocheting or knitting, and what goals you have for 2026 craft-wise. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.